Hi everyone, today we are going to start a string playlist, and in this playlist we'll study about a string and a string algorithms from basic to advanced. And this is the first video of the playlist, and in this video I will teach you some built-in method of the string, and then we'll see frequency vector, and after that we'll solve one code force problem. Okay, so let's start with built-in method in the string. Okay, so first see what is the string. Okay, so a string is a sequence of character. Okay, anything, it can be anything, dollar sign as well, any character you can put. There is also one blank space is here. Okay, so a string is a sequence of character. Okay, and these are some method in the string, and it is with respect to C++. You can find same method or maybe different method in other another language as well, maybe with same syntax or with different syntax. Okay, so let's see first method, which is s dot size or s dot length. So what it will give you, it will give you the length of your string, and another meaning, it will give you just count of character in your string. Okay, so for this, what it will give you, it will give you 1 2 3 4 5. I will counting this: 1, then 6, then 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it will give you 9 as the output. Okay, now let's see the another method. Okay, which is s dot substr. What is this? It is the substring of s. Okay, and what is that substring? The substring which is started at position and up to length length size, which is, you can see, position plus length minus 1. Okay, let's see one example here: a b c d. So s dot sub str comma 1 comma 2, what it will give you, it will give you bc. Okay, because here it is one geo based indexing. Okay, sorry, 1, it is 2, it is 3. Okay, so we have to start from 1, and then we have to go till length 2. Okay, so it will give you bc. Okay, let's see another method, which is s dot find. So this method give you the, first see what is this ch and a string. Okay, so in this method you can either pass character, or you can also pass the substring as a parameter. Okay, and it will give you the first occurrence of character or a string. Okay, let's see in this example. If you see s dot find, if you do s dot find a for this string, which is s is equal to this. Okay, so it will give you 0, because the first occurrence of character a is at the 0 index. Okay, and if you pass, let pass the a substring, which is bc, what it will give you, it will give you 1. Okay, sorry, 1, because bc the first occurrence of string bc at index 1. Okay, now let's move toward another method. Okay, the fourth one is s dot ph. So this is used for deleting substring from the string. Okay, okay, in in this same method we have to again pass the position of from where you want to delete, and you have to pass the length of your substring which you want to delete. Okay, we'll see their coding in next moment. Okay, what the last one is s dot begin and s dot end. Okay, what is these two? So let write a example string a b c d e f. Okay, so s dot begin is nothing but it is a iterator. Okay, and it is the first position iterator. Okay, of the string. Okay, and s dot end is also a iterator, but it is the last position of the string, and it is, you can see a b c d e f. F is the last character of a string, but s dot end doesn't represent the f iterator of f. It represents the iterator just after f. Okay, so we'll see this later on in the coding part. Okay, so I think we have already all done all the method. Like these are the method which you have to use in your competitive programming generally. There are also another method, and we are not discussing that method here. Okay, so let's see the coding part of this method. Okay, so I have already written all these methods and to save the time. Okay, so let's first run this code. Okay, then I will explain what does is each line do. So I have taken one string s. Okay, and then have done call two method s dot size, s dot length. Okay, so here you can see in both the case I will get 16 as a output. Okay, because both will give you same output. Okay, there is a 16 character here. Okay, you have to count the blank space as well. Okay, and one more thing, uh, uh, for using a string or a string method, you have to include the string library in the C++. Okay, so now see the next method, which is s dot substr, which will give you substr substring which is starting at 0, and the length is 2. Okay, so here starting with 0 and length is 2, which is th. So you can see here we get output as a th here. Okay, now if you change this to 1, then let's see the output. Let me clear the terminal. So here you can see we get hi as a output for this line. Okay, substring started from index 1 up to length 2. Okay, now the another method is s dot find, which will give you the first of position where the character a appear. Okay, so in this string where a appear first time, so let count it: 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So at eighth position the character a appear first time. Okay, similarly for substring ing, it occur at 13 position. Okay, so you can see here the I is at 13 position. Okay, And the another thing, if character A doesn't occur, let's see here. There is Z doesn't occur in this string. Okay, so let's see what is the output of the code. So you can see here some garbage value is we get after, because Z is not API in the server string. Okay, if I will pass the small s here also, let me see what is the output. We can see here we got 3. Okay, here's 3, third position, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if the character doesn't appear in this string, then in that case you will get some garbage value, or like in the, iterator manner, if I say, you will get s dot end. Okay, because s dot end doesn't represent any character, it represent last to last character. Like for this string, s dot end is not the iterator of g, it is the iterator just after g. Okay, now the another method is s dot reage, which is used to delete substring from the string. Okay, so I have reage a substring start with geo of length 5. Okay, so let me see what is the expected output. So from geo up to length 5. Okay, so the remaining string is this, is a string. Okay, so here you can see we got the new string as a is a string. Okay, new string is a string. Okay, now you can sort your string character using s dot begin and s dot end. For using this sort method, you have to import this algorithm library. Okay, so the sorting happened with respect to the value of character. What is that value of character? It is ASCII value. Okay, if the character have ASCII value less than the another character, it will place before that another character. Okay, here we can see that there is a two blank space here. Okay, it is due to the blank space has less ASCII value than these characters. Okay, after that I have printed the size of a string, which we can see 11. Then I have done reverse operation. Here you can see the after sorting the string get reverse. Okay, and there is also two blank spaces here. Then I have printed s dot size. Okay, which is again give you 11. Okay, so this is all about a string and a string method. Let's see the another part of this video, which is if you can see here, what is this? Let's see, discuss this using one example. Okay, so A B C A C B D. Okay, let's say this is one string. Okay, so here you can see there is only lowercase English letter, okay, and how many number of lowercase English alphabet? Okay, it is 26. Okay, so what you can do, you can create a array. Okay, let me add int frequency, let name it frequency of size 26, and you can store the count of each character in this frequency back array. Okay, how you can store it? You can write a as a geo B as a 1, C as a 2. Okay, in the in that manner. Okay, like how you can get Geo12, you can write int a minus, sorry, int s of I minus a. Okay, it will give you the value for each of the character. Like for a it will give you 0, for b it will give you 1, for c it will give you 2. Okay, now let's see if wha- what if there is a different character here. So if there is a different character here, you have to create the frequency array accordingly. You have to change the size of frequency vector, and for getting the value of character you have to either you can use ASCII value of that character or any other value. You may assume it by yourself as well. Okay, so we also know there is a 128 character in 128 character in our alphabet, in our computer system, and so at max the size of frequency can goes to 128. Okay, in another bit system there is also there is a 1 256 character. Okay, so it depend on the your uh, mostly it depend on your program or your input. Okay, so this is about the frequency vector. Let's write one pseudo for code for this. So you have a string s. Okay, you have to create a either, let use int array of 26 size. I am assuming that all the character of s is lowercase English alphabet. Okay, which is initially filled with 0. If you don't do this, then you may get wrong frequency of each character. Okay, we have to iterate from index I is equal to 0 to I less than what? How you can get the size of string or the count of the character in your string using s dot size or using either s dot length method. Okay, and then you can do I plus plus. Okay, what you can do here, you can find the value of character using int s of I minus a, which will give you the value of character, and you what you can do, you can do this operation which will in increment the your frequency count by 1. Okay, and this frequency vector is very useful in the competitive programming problems like anagram problem, some permutation problem. Okay, we are going to see one problem named pentagram. Okay, we'll solve this in this video. Okay, problem, this is not any concept, this is the problem name. Okay, these are the concept: anagram, permutation. Yeah, what is the anagram? Anagram is just let's write one example. S is equal to a b c. Okay, again I write one more character a. Okay, t is equal to a a c b. So these two string are anagram. Okay, why? You each of the character in S have same frequency in T as well. Okay, A appear twice here, A also appear twice here, B appear one time here, here also you can see B appear one time only, C appear one time, C also here appear one time. Okay, so these two string are anagram. Okay, let solve the pentagram code force problem. Okay. Uh, Take time to read the statement of the problem. I will explain you what is this. Okay. So let's discuss the statement of the problem here. You have a string s given to you. N is also given to you, which is s dot size. Okay. And you have a string. Okay. S. What do you have to check? You have to check is the all alphabet character API in it or not. Let me see the problem statement again. You have to you have you are given a string s consisting of lowercase and uppercase Latin letter. Check whether this string is a pentagram. We say that a string contain a letter of Latin letter alphabet if this letter occur in a string in uppercase or lowercase. If all the character of alphabet of this language appear in at least once. Okay. So this is the statement of the pentagram. Okay. If all the character of alphabet of this language appear in it at least once. Okay. Let's see this example. A appear here, B appear. There is no B in this word. Okay. So that's why output is no. Let's see here. Is the A appear here? A appear here. Is the B appear? Yes, B is there. Is the C is there? Yes, C is there. So you can see that all the alphabet letter is there either in uppercase or lowercase. Okay. Lowercase and uppercase Latin letter. Check whether this string is a pentagram. We said that a string contain a letter of Latin alphabet if this letter occur in string in uppercase or lowercase. There is a statement that either it should be uppercase or lowercase. It is fine. It should be there. Okay. So solve how let's see how we can solve this problem. So what do we have to do? You have to let's see one example. B C D E F. Okay. So what you have to do? We have to make a frequency array. Okay. And in that frequency array, we have to store the count of each of the uh, letter. Okay. It's capital A, small a. Okay. Capital B, a small b. Okay. And you have to apply the condition that the plus of these two should be greater than 0. Okay. For each of the from up to Z. Here you can see there is a given that either it should be uppercase or lowercase. Okay. So that's why I have applied here. I am doing plus operation here. If anyone have a count greater than 1, then in that case this expression become true. And for all these character from A to Z, if it is true, then in that case you have to return output yes, otherwise you have to return no. Okay. You have to output no. If anyone have are false, anyone have frequency 0, in that case output is no. Okay. So let's code this solution. Okay, so what we have given int n. Okay, then we have given a string s. Okay, let's take input first. Now let make two array. Okay, let's use vector here so that you can easily fill frequency. This is frequency of lowercase from 26 to 0. Okay, each of the index are initially filled with value 0, and this is the frequency of uh, uppercase later with initially filled with 0. Okay, let's run one loop which will visit all the character in the string s. Okay, so n, I am putting n here because n is already equal to s dot size. Okay, now let's see here. First condition, we have to make sure that is the si is lowercase or uppercase. Okay, so if it is lowercase, then value of si is going to be greater than equal to a. Okay, let me uh, write here. It is also true. You can also compare character directly. Okay, so lowercase alphabet like lowercase alphabet has harder ASSCI value than uppercase. Okay, ASCII value. Okay, lowercase alphabet has greater than ASCII value than uppercase. Okay, so if it is lowercase, then you have to increment the count of this character by 1. Okay, and otherwise it is going to be the lowercase letter. Okay, if it is lowercase. Okay, if it is uppercase, this case represent it the character is uppercase, and this case represent the character is lowercase. Okay, so I said opposite. This case represent character is uppercase, and this case represent character is lowercase. Sorry, uppercase. Okay, so you have to put here capital A, and here you have to use frequency of u. Okay, now let declare your answer as a already yes. Okay, if any wrong happen, then we will change our answer to no. Otherwise, it will remain yes. Okay, let's visit all the frequency for int I is equal to 0 to I less than 26 I plus plus. Okay, if frequency of L comma I plus frequency of U comma I is equal to 0, that means some letter doesn't appear in a string, and in that case we have to change your answer to no. You can also apply break operation here, because once the answer is no, it is always going to be no. Okay, so you can do break operation here. So I think our code is completed and we can test it. So let me test the given example. First one is 12 and the given string. Okay, so answer we get is no. Let me test the another example. Yes, we got answer yes. Okay. One thing we can also do, we can instead of writing two different frequency vector, we can write on a single frequency vector, and you can just increment same frequency. Okay. Let me change it. Okay. We have to use the same frequency vector. Okay, because I am just adding here. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to write two different frequency vector. Okay, the difference in if else case is here I am using lowercase, here I am using uppercase a. Okay, let me test this code again. Here we get answer yes. Okay, let's submit this code in on the code force. It is accepted. Okay, so we can conclude our first video here. Thank you for the watching.